What's up, you guys? Zoeb here from OneGlanceTrader.com, and I'm really excited to be sharing the long-awaited OGT RSI MTF EA version 1.2. Now, in this particular version, there are two main updates. The first one is probably the most request that I've ever had on an EA. It is to add a stop loss to version 1.2, which I'm pleased to report there is now a stop loss feature in this latest version. And secondly, you guys will know a couple of months back we released the RSI MTF indicator version 1.2, and that had a number of filters in there, and a lot of you have been asking, can we get those filters in the RSI MTF EA? And that has also been included in this version. So what I'll do in this video is go through those two main key points, and then what we'll do, we'll throw up a back test of the Euro USD, look at January 2021 to date, and have a little play with the stop loss feature so you guys can get to feel with what exactly it does and how it works. So if you are a big fan of the RSI MTF EA or indicator or my channel, make sure that you like this video if this video has added value to you, and make sure you guys subscribe, because next week myself and Alistair are releasing the Zone Recovery EA version 1.4. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you do not miss the release of version 1.4. So really excited to be sharing that one with you as well. So let's go into the features of 1.2 before we start looking at the back test. So if I bring up the EA settings, and the settings are exactly the same pretty much as version 1.1 in terms of the order and everything. It's just you'll see now there's a lot more inputs in here because we've added the filters. So the first thing is the stop loss, and this is called the loss percent of balance, similar to the gain percent of balance. And when I was looking at this, and Alistair, who's kind of coded this for me, because we have multiple trades potentially that you can open using the multiple trades feature, we thought it would be best to put a stop loss together that was similar to the gain percentage, so kind of a portfolio stop loss of the current cycle of trades. So the way it works is if you want to trade without a stop loss, all you have to do is change the loss balance to 100. And what that basically is saying is put my stop loss at 100% of my account balance, which you'll get margin called before that actually happens. So if you want to run it exactly as version 1.1, but you want to use the filters but don't want to use the stop loss, set that to 100. And then anything lower than that, lower than 100, is basically how you set your portfolio loss. So for example, if you want to set a hard stop loss at 10% of your balance, so let's say you've got a $1,000 account and you are trying to gain 2% account balance every time, and it opens a couple of trades and it goes against you. If your account balance sorry, drops below or at 10% or below, it will automatically close out all your trades, and leaving you with a 10% loss. So again, have a play with it, and this is what the back testing we're going to go through in a second to kind of show you some of these features. So again, have a little play with that, but again, this has been the most requested element here because a lot of you have been trading with this EA and have seen some fantastic results. And if you guys are brand new to the EA or want to look at some other stuff, I'll put a playlist together as I've done a number of videos on the RSI MTF EA, so you guys can check that one out. So that's the stop loss feature, relatively straightforward. And the next bit here is we've got this filter section, which what this filter section does, it gives you less signals, but the presence is that it will allow you to pick trades that are going with the long-term direction of the overall market that you're trading. So exactly the same and similar to the RSI MTF indicator version 1.2, and I'll link to that in the description below and the top right corner. But I'll very quickly go through in terms of how it works. So what you want to do is that you want to set a filter time frame. If you do not want to set a filter time frame, just set that to current. No, sorry. So you can So you can select any time frame you want. If you do not want to have the filter on and just go on the current time frame, and also the higher time frame quantities based on the RSI, which I'm circling over at the moment, you just select no filter. So you select your time frame. Let's say you're trading a 5-minute chart, but you want to make sure you're going with the trend of the 1-hour chart, as an example. So then you select the 1-hour chart, and then you've got a number of filters. So the first one is the moving average aligned, and basically what that is utilizing 3 moving averages which you can set, and if those 3 moving averages are aligned in the fast, medium, slow direction, and you get a signal on your 5-minute time frame, it will then place that trade to make sure you're going with the direction of the main trend. So that is how the moving average works. Momentum works in a very similar way, where if it's below 100 on your time frame of choice, it will then, and you get a signal on your current time frame, it will place a sell, and if it's above 100, it will place a buy. Again, trying to look for extreme conditions on higher time frames to fade that move. The next one is the MACD. The MACD, again, similar to the moving average. If the MACD on your filter time frame is above the 0 line and you get a buy signal, it will take that trade. And if it's below the 0 line and you get a sell signal, again, it will take that trade. The ADX, the way the ADX works is that you set a threshold. Generally, people choose 20. So then, if the ADX is above 20 on a higher time frame, then it will take those trades on the time frame that you're currently at. And then we've got the Bollinger Band. This one's probably my kind of favorite. And the way that this works is that, let's say we have got the filter time frame at 1 hour and you're trading a 5-minute chart. If the price on the 1 hour chart was outside of the Bollinger Band on the 1 hour chart, and then you got a signal to fade the 1 hour chart on your lower time frame, it will then take that move. So for example, if price is above the Bollinger Band on the 1 hour chart and you get a signal using the EA on a 5-minute chart to sell, it will then take that sell. But if you got a buy signal and on the 5-minute and you are above the upper Bollinger Band, it will not take that signal, because again, the more chance of it reversing on a higher time frame is more likely, which is why that filter is in place. And the next one and last one is the ADR. So for the ADR to work, which is the average daily range, you have to select the daily time frame. And basically what happens is it takes today's range, or the range of the current trading day, and if it's larger than the ATR, which is what you set, it will then take the trade and fade that move again. So similar to the Bollinger Band kind of strategy there. So those are how the filters work in there. Have a play with them, play with the back test. Now we're adding more into this EA. There's so many permutations you can use to kind of trade this, and I want you guys to have fun and comment down below on what are your favorite kind of settings. So that's the kind of features of version 1.2. And what I wanted to do was just kind of show you a couple of back tests based on like January so far. So as you know, I like to use the Euro USD. I like to not cherry pick currency pairs, and again, I don't want to cherry pick as well. I've picked the 1st of January 2021 up to the 15th, which is yesterday, so we've got the complete trading for 2021 so far. And I've just set the 5-minute chart just so we got a number of trades so we can have a look. And then I've also set this, and this is purely just because I don't want the video to last about half an hour, a very crude method, and I've checked it on when it does every tick, it's roughly the same. So so it's just going to give you a feel of what's going on. So again, these aren't like fast rule settings. I've just put some settings on there so we get a lot of trades so we can see what happens. So I'm allowing multiple orders because that's how I personally trade it. Take pips at 5, looking to make 0.1%. I'm trading without a stop loss currently. 70/30, and doesn't look at any additional time frames, and I've not done any filters. So I just want to show you the difference of what happens when you use the stop loss to when you don't use the stop loss. So as you can see here, again, it got into a bit of drawdown, but then recovered itself. And then what was that? That made £15.22, so 1.5% return in the first 15 days, which is great. And then the drawdown, master drawdown, was £34, and it was a £1,000 account. So working as it normally should. For those of you who use the EA will know that these are the typical results that you expect to see. So what I'm going to do now is set a stop loss at 10%. So if any cycle of trades that are open, whether it's one trade or 5 trades, and if the overall negative balance drops to 10%, it will close out all the trades. So if we run this now, you can see here what it's done at the moment is that it did that. It was very strange there. It did not do what I wanted it to do for some strange reason. Lost percent of balance. Oh, because I put 10%. Sorry, I've worked out what I did there. So basically, what happened here is that the drawdown never got to 10%. So a £1,000 account would be £100 of dollars. So it actually gave you the exact same view if you didn't have a stop loss on it. So if I set this to 1%, and then hopefully we'll get some losing trades. Yeah. So we can see here that these two have been a loss, and again here we had another loss when we had that dip that came back up here. So what it's doing here in these two examples is that price dropped, not price, sorry, your balance dropped below 1%, so therefore cut you out of the trade. So in the first example, so we've done 3 examples when I was only meant to show you guys 2. In the first example, we had no stop loss that made 1.5%, with the drawdown of about £35 or dollars. The second one, we had a 10% stop loss, which again gave us the exact same result, because as we saw, we only had a £35 or dollars drawdown, and we needed to get to £100 or dollars drawdown to activate the stop loss. Whereas in this example here, you can see here that the absolute drawdown, when you include spread and everything, is at 15, because again it is taking you out of the trade. And then the total net profit is minus £1 or $1.13 or p. So what that's done there's pretty much got us break even. But you could sleep at night, for those who wanted to stop loss, can realize now that having a stop loss gives you that protection. You're obviously going to lose some of your gains by doing a stop loss, by definition of it, but it gives you that kind of security factor that you guys are kind of working on. And again, I've just done a 5-minute chart using the first 15 days of 2021, and you guys can optimize this using the filters and different time frames, etc, etc. So I really hope that you guys are gonna take version 1.2. Again, I probably should have mentioned at the beginning, it's absolutely free. Link is below to go download it. And on the screen now we've got the RSI MTF kind of playlist, as well as kind of my Bollinger Band strategy as well, which again has been really popular with you guys. So check out those videos, and I shall see you guys very shortly.